Oh, hi, Cheryle. Oh, I'm
Hey.
glad that everybody watching now doesn't know what we just did to get ready for this. Oh boy. Well, my name is Jean Morrison, and I'm here with the founder of Brave Voices, Cheryle Grace Gale. And
Cheryle Gale Grace.
Cheryle Gale Grace. I knew I'd get it wrong. She has written this incredible introduction about me that I tried to talk her out of it, but I couldn't. And so, and it's really too long to memorize, and then it would be really canned. But I'm going to invite her just to read it, because she really did craft it. I spent a long time on this. So she's going to read the introduction about me. And so I am introducing Cheryle.
Yeah, Cheryle, who is the founder of Brave Voices.
That's right.
That's right, which is all about breaking the cycle of silence that perpetuates childhood sexual abuse. Yeah, so Brave Voices is all about helping and supporting adults to think, listen, learn, and speak about this epidemic. That's what Brave Voices is all about. Yeah. And nonviolent communication is the umbrella under which we're going to learn how to talk about this most difficult of subjects, right? So if we observe rather than judge, we listen with compassion and empathy, we're going to have an easier time talking about this difficult subject.
Yeah.
And Jean is my long-time beloved, and I'm not reading it now. I'm just talking to you from my heart. And I've been studying under Jean since 2011, and it started a month long at Esalen. And Jean was lucky enough to have worked extensively with Marshall Rosenberg, who was the founder of Nonviolent Compassionate Communication. And she's the author of a book called FUNdamentals. And when Marshall saw that book, he said, "This is the book I always wanted to write."
He really liked the cartoons in it. Yeah. And the distinction between jackal and giraffe. He thought that was really cool. And of course, he always taught with those puppets. And so I think he really just likes it on and clearly on each page. I don't know. It was fun to hear him say that. I kind of was shocked.
Yeah. And Jean, also in collaboration with Christine King, created the Grok cards, which is a deck of feelings and a deck of needs. And these have been fundamental to me to get in touch with my feelings and needs. And I can't say enough about them. And we're going to play with those today.
Yeah, as part of our getting some easy ways to get really in touch with that deeper part of what goes on for us, no matter what our situation is. And definitely tying in with the conversations that you're having with people and people are having with each other around childhood abuse.
Childhood sexual abuse specifically.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what is it that I really want to read? What's important about you? You have a master's in psychology. And yeah. And your lifelong interests include holistic health, whole brain learning and thinking, and the Enneagram system for personal development. Those are some of your big tools in your toolbox. And you've been teaching month-long 5-day and weekend retreats at Esalen for 16 years.
It was a long run. Haven't done it lately since COVID, but so I'll say this part. Cheryle started in one of the first month-long there with me, and then became and then I asked her, I couldn't help myself to ask her to be my assistant, and then we went on to do how many years together doing that? At least
8 or so.
9, 10, I don't know. We sort of forgot to count them.
Yeah.
But we made really a team there in doing that work with a lot of people.
And what I will never forget about after a whole month, I felt like a teeny weeny infant baby giraffe with this new language, this new way of thinking. And it's taken, that was 2011, and it's 2022 right now. So all of those years going on to do the immersion class, 6-month program, and continuously studying and practice. And it's still, I mean, part of why I so wanted to assist you and do all of these classes is because from my perspective, what I see is it is integrated in you, Jean. It's, you live it, you breathe it, you don't have to think it. It's habitual, right?
You should be around me 24/7. You find a whole other part.
Well, that's what it looks like from the outside for me. And that is why I wanted so badly just to sit at your feet and absorb as much as I could from being around you. So thank you for all those years of.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I just want everybody to know that the giraffe reference, Marshall, the founder of this work, he started using those two symbols, giraffe and jackal, as jackal, the habits that we, of our thinking and speech that really get in the way and don't keep us connected really deeply, honestly, with ourselves or with other people. And then giraffe has that big heart, 27 pounds, and a perspective that sees, you know, the bigger picture. And so, hey, Cheryle, I'm a baby giraffe too. You know, this is a lifelong learning because I had 37 years of learning jackal really well before I started learning this system. And so as Marshall used to say, it's to become progressively less stupid, not perfect. And I knew I would keep studying this when I heard that quote, because it just is such a humanizing skill set. You know, we can forgive ourselves. We can even give more acceptance to our own places that we wish we were different, you know, because we can understand it better. And then that helps us feel the same way about other people. Like if people really knew other ways of being and getting their needs met, they wouldn't do the harm that they do to each other or to themselves. And I really, truly believe that. So it's a lot about educating ourselves and being able to be present to even investigate the things that have happened to us, right?
Yeah, and the addition to the jackal that I want to add on is that is our habitual, this is what comes out of us instinctually, and it's the tragic expression of an unmet need. Yeah.
That's another Marshall quote that Cheryle and I both love.
Yes.
And giraffes help us get to the heart of what matters most. So I'm going to be going through, Cheryle and I are going to be going through some role plays and key distinctions of this system. And it's really an overview, but we hope it'll help you see like, oh, there's some real depth to that, even though we're sort of playing with these concepts like this. But to me, the metaphors and the foundational pieces of this system really help my mind track something more conscious than my normal reactivity to something. And I like to be consciously aware of what I'm saying and thinking rather than in my habit place, because I really got messed up in a lot of situations and can still do that if I just, you know, I'm not really staying grounded and present and conscious. So, and it's healing to do that. It's healing to go back through a lot of things in my life and do different role plays, as you and I have done together through the years, with different people playing key people in our lives. And, you know, all of that has helped to really learn, kind of relearn what I would have said or done in that situation. And that is incredibly powerful. Like I had a lot of stuff going on with my dad, right? And he died when I was 26. And I learned this in my late 30s. So how is it going to heal with my dad? And how heal myself around stuff that I never would have said to him in person back then. But Marshall and you and different people have played my dad, and I've played me, and I've spoken up bravely, and And then that's what my brain remembers, instead of having all the suffering that continues to go on and on and on. And so there's just a lot of powerful ways that this system gets played out. And then also I played my dad, and Marshall or you would, many other people have played me, and I play my dad. And then I, as dad, get the understanding and empathy, which he never had for his stuff that was going on for him. So it's really incredible. And in addition to just the everyday dialogue we have with people. So it's in a lifelong and continues to be really powerful, as you know, Cheryle. But I'm talking to the other people now.
Yeah.
Did I interrupt you on your?
No, not at all. No, we'll just jump in with the fundamentals and
Okay, yeah.
an overview of what we strive to do oftener and oftener.
Yeah,
which is
oftener and oftener.
Yeah, our observations, feelings, needs, and requests.
Yeah, I'm going to hold up this while you say that. So
Yes.
these are the there are four key distinctions that Marshall put in this model. And so it's got the little giraffe in the middle there. But if we're tuned into our mind to what are we seeing and hearing? And then what are we feeling and what are our needs and values? That gets us really grounded, as opposed to, those are all the jackal pieces.
And the giraffe pieces, and the jackal parts, the opposite habituals are, how many are familiar with judging and interpreting and making conclusions and making complaints and going into the right wrong world and shooting on each other and manipulating.
Blaming.
Anyone else have habits like that besides Cheryle? If you're human, you have those habits. And the systems is presented internationally. I forget how many countries now have trainers and people have been learning it, and just all around the world. So it is very exciting to know there's that network of us everywhere. And so, or people, especially parents, I'll say, making demands instead of a request. And parents for thinking, well, I did make a request. I said, would you put your toys away? That's a request. Well, here's this. Would you put your toys away? Because I want to make sure where they are tomorrow. And also the rest of us won't step on them and trip over them and things like that tonight when you're in bed. Would you do that now? So now I'm ready for a yes or a no, because I've let the person know why I want it to be done and what I want it for. And I've used a tone that's authentically connecting, because I'm talking to a beloved person in my life, right? They're not an enemy. My child is not my enemy. So that's some key components. So where are we going to go next with this?
No, Mom, I would like you to do it.
Oh, that must be because you're already doing something fun that you don't want to stop, and you want me to pick up your toys so you can keep doing something that's fun. Is that what you want to do tonight?
Definitely. Yeah. I don't want to.
Why don't we do that tonight? And we'll see what happens tomorrow night. Maybe we'll switch. Maybe I'll be doing something fun, and then you'll find a fun way to pick up your toys. Or maybe one night we'll both pick up your toys, because that would be fun. Or maybe some night we'll do it with our eyes closed, and we'll see how many toys we can throw in the basket and hit the basket.
Let's do that right now, Mom. That sounds like so much more fun than what
That's
I'm
the one
doing.
you want to do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see what happened with that? All that happened was I was tuned in to my child's needs. Now, my needs would be teaching my children to be responsible, but ew. And it's such an old way to do it. Like, I'll teach you to pick up your toys, and then you'll be responsible to take care of yourself when you're bigger. It's like, no, that's not what happens. If I'm connected to their needs, the biggest need of children is that they have intrinsically is learning and having fun with life and exploring. And, they're so alive with that. So that's all I did was tune into them. And and then we're going to make play out of picking up toys. So,
And as a parent, you're definitely setting a lot of your needs aside. Yes, you have a desire or want to get the room cleaned up right now, but you may have needs for efficiency that you're setting aside.
well, personally, I think it's more efficient to find a creative way to be with kids in what we want them to do, that we also are having fun, because fun is one of my huge needs in life and has been for a long time. And the other is, yeah, it's a safety thing, but we're going to get that done, so the needs are different than the strategy. So the strategy is the action of putting the toys away. That's what I want, that strategy to happen. And there are some important needs, but my first need really is a quality connection with my child. That's my first need. And also a authentic, relaxed presence with myself. That's another big need. So that's why I'm meeting that need in the way I asked that request. And I was willing to hear a no. So taking into account my deeper needs, my need isn't to have the toys picked up. That's my strategy. And it's partly around safety, but I could pick them up and move them out of the way. So what's really there for me in this example is the quality of connection.
And I imagine in a lot of parents' lives, quality connection is not necessarily in their realm of consciousness. Getting to work on time, getting to school on time, getting dinner on the table.
Exactly.
So
there's so much going on. And
I
I didn't know this system when I was a young mom. I didn't know this until my child was grown. Well, in high school. Yeah. So yeah, I would have liked to have known it. But let's move on to some other pieces that aren't just around parenting.
Okay.
That was fun. Our viewers might want to know that we did not plan that at all. we didn't even have a whisper of a thought about doing all of that, but we did. And so
back to oftener and oftener, our observations, feelings, needs, and requests. Yep. So on that circle was the 4 pieces: awareness of those four things, right? And observation, what we see and what we hear.
So here's the first one. Yeah. It's like observation is just what we see or hear. So I could have said, as a parent, I see toys on the floor and on the bed and on the table and on the couch. And I see your empty toy box over there, or the empty basket or whatever. And I'm wondering if you'd be willing to put all the toys that are out here into the basket. So that observation is often really clear for what we're talking about. And a jackal version would be, should we just keep going with this
Sure.
example of kid?
Sure.
It would be, let's turn it into an adult to an adult. Okay. So I have a housemate.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Let's pretend that the person I'm a roommate with or housemate with has a project that's all out on the dining room table, and I'm cooking dinner for us. And so, it's like, I see your projects that you've been working on is on the table, and I'm about ready to have dinner ready in about 15 minutes. Do you think you could have the thing off the table with work? So I'm making the observation why I'm wanting it so I can move forward with what I'm doing, and I'm willing to hear their no, right? So, but the observation is just, I see your things there on the. Jackal would say, "Well, you've left your mess out, and I wish you'd clean it up."
Yeah,
that's the jackal version.
Yeah, and
sometimes it's more subtle than that. Like that's kind of not snarky, right? Sometimes it's like your stuff's on the table, and I'm trying to get ready for dinner. So that's really like manipulative, also yucky, and just not clear.
And coming back to, if this communication is truly about connection, it's not we're using NVC to get what we want.
Right.
We're coming in with the consciousness that we want to be connected with this person.
Right.
And I've just created a beautiful dinner, and I love to sit down at a clean table. And I love the flowers and the candles. Would you mind cleaning off your stuff so that I could enjoy a meal with you in what I consider a lovely environment?
Yeah, well, this is my lovely project, but I will clean it off so you can have your lovely dinner.
Right. That's only my request. Why don't we split the table? Can you move your stuff down to the
Yeah.
other end?
Let's why don't you say no to me and we'll see what happens. Like, so could you have it's back to me being the cook and you being the housemate.
Yeah.
So do you think I'll just move on, directly to request here?
Yeah. And hearing a no.
I'm feeling there's your things on the table and dinner's just about ready in 15 minutes. And I'm feeling excited to serve this new recipe and to eat it. And need some help around here to get the table ready. Would you move your things off in the next 10 minutes even? Would that work for you?
Absolutely not. I am right in the middle of a paragraph that has taken me a lot of time to get clear in my brain.
Okay.
And yeah, just go ahead and eat without me.
Oh, okay. I wish I would have checked with you sooner so we could have coordinated it. But yeah, I sure understand getting right into something that you don't want to leave yet while you're in your creative mode with what you're doing. Okay, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and eat in the kitchen, and I'll leave the food out for you whenever you want to eat.
All right.
And don't forget to tell me how delicious and wonderful it was after you've had it, because I really did do it something special, and I think you're going to like it. I'm excited to hear what you think about it, actually.
Oh, I am hungry. I'll join you just as soon as I'm done. Thank you so much for doing it.
Yeah. So the flexibility is in the strategy, right? And the more flexible and creative I am in strategies, I'm not attached to my way and to be upset when you don't do something my way. So that's a big part of this whole system, is connecting those 4 pieces: observations, feelings, needs, and requests. They're actually a whole brain. Because objectively, I see stuff. That's left brain. Something's very objective. 100 people jammed into that dining room could see there's some papers and things on the table. It's just a fact. And the request is an action. So moving them off the table, that's something visible also. So that's like left brain, objectively, something is happening.
And it's doable.
But the right brain is inside of me. Nobody can see it. So I, first of all, want to know it. Okay, it's my feelings and needs. Those are body sensations and values I have, things I want, the reasons I want stuff, the importance of it to me, or the value of it to me.
Connection, to have relaxation and time with this other person that you care about. Yeah.
And so I want to know those parts of me before I say them. And sometimes I don't even say those parts. I might just say, would you move your project off? I'd like to put dinner on there in about 10 minutes. Would that work? So they don't know that they don't need to know that I'm feeling excited, or I'm, but maybe I do want to say that. So I don't always say all those 4 pieces, but I do like to mindfully know what they are, because then I'm coming from a clear place. So, and it just depends on the situation. Yeah. So that's those four pieces. Let's, should we do a little time check really quick?
Yeah, I think we're going to stop at this point.
Because there's going to be more, right?
Yeah, come back for the role plays.
Yeah, we'll do more role plays, but just getting those kind of fundamental pieces and the things we've said about the quality of connection is and being able to say our truth in a way that is authentic and is more likely for the other person to connect with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm staying tuned to what might be happening in them the whole time as well, into what they're feeling and needing.
Mm-hmm. And because everybody's needs are equal.
Yeah,
The person who's sitting at the table who's working, your needs, who's cooking, the child's. We're coming from a perspective of there's equality between all of our needs. And so
right.
I'm
right.
not going to demand or override just to get what I want. That's
Right.
so
So those are foundational pieces. But what I want to bring to light here too is that with Brave Voices, I know that the whole sphere that you're working with is about reducing childhood sexual abuse and in helping those who have been affected in that way to speak up about their situation, first with themselves, then with somebody they feel safe with to interview with you. And so being able to really know your feelings and your needs now and what was going on, what were your needs and feelings when specific things happened to you that somebody else did to you, and getting the clear description of that inner world for yourself and have somebody hear that is so powerful. So we're not giving examples of that now, but I just want you to know that in our examples of, housemaid and table and eating and kid stuff, it's easier to learn some of these parts when you're not talking about your most difficult, challenging, painful thing that's happened to you. So we're giving these examples in ways that can be transferable to any situation, right?
We're baby steps. We're starting with something that's not going to cause so much reaction for us and something that feels easier to talk about rather than the most uncomfortable, difficult. Yeah.
Right. But it's all the same steps. It's all the same work processes. All the key things are the same, but the content is very different. And needing a lot of safety and a lot of empathy in listeners is the first piece. And I know you've done that with so many people. You've heard so many stories, and your presence and being able to really just be there with them, no matter how they're saying what they're saying, is a really gift to many, many people.
Yeah, thank you. And the other part I want to add is that this learning style is not just for those of us who were harmed. It is for the adults to learn how to start a conversation with their neighbors. And so we're still going to use the observations, feelings, needs, and requests to start. Those are difficult. They're a different bravery, or perhaps it might be the school or the Girl Scouts person or the clergy. They're still challenging conversations that we want to be able to speak about easier.
So all those brave voices are part of the community that you're forming and is already here to join.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
All right.
We'll come back for another role play, another session where we're together, and we'll do some more play.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.